They don't come after you.
Yes, sir. Somebody gonna come after you.
I'm gonna leave this dog raw skin hide at the door. Take him. You want him so bad? Take him. You can have him now. You can have his raw skin hide.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
That cow that's sitting on my floor in the room.
That's okay.
That's what I'm gonna turn that dog into.
That's what it's called.
A
Raw
throw.
skin hide.
A throw.
All right. So they on that live. Tell them we back.
We back. Everybody on the YouTube. We back.
Yeah, I'm updating the links and all that right now. You know what I'm saying? Got to be quick with it because I'm quick like that. Because I'm cool like that.
Cool like that.
I just didn't want your commemorative your commemorative statements to go unheard. You scare me when you start touching stuff.
Tell me when you're ready. Tell me when
What
to
you
go.
talking about? We
Tell me
already-
when to go. Oh, we're back. We're back.
Let me show you how to do this.
Let me-
We back, y'all. Yes, sir.
You so loud.
Yes, sir. Your fingers ain't fingering. Okay? You hear your finger don't finger right. Show you how to do that, goddamn. We back in there big goddamn shit, goddamn here.
I think I'm gonna end up having high blood pressure.
You probably already got high blood pressure. I told you that already.
Don't wish that on me. That's your issue.
Probably got high blood pressure, man.
I don't want that. I'm eating right. Money, power, and respect. I'm eating right. Anyway, it is 9/11. We are live on YouTube in the Pretty Not Sure podcast, and I definitely wanted to commemorate, talk about, and touch on some of the things that happened today 20 years ago. Do you remember where you were 20 years ago when the terrorist attacks
I was
occurred?
in 7th grade at Henry D. Perry Middle School. I remember walking in that morning, like regular, walk to school. But when I got in the homeroom, for some reason, my teacher was not talking, and all of the students were sitting on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her staring at the TV. Literally, her mouth was like this.
Stuck.
And all the students on the desk.
Did she say anything at all that day?
She didn't talk to me.
I mean, to the class?
The class was quiet. There was no, look, when I walked in, I knew something was weird because it was silent. Homeroom is normally, you hear the chatter. Until the bell ring, she let that shit slide. Y'all do what y'all want to do until the bell ring. Nigga, I don't even know if the bell rung that day. That motherfucker was silent. So I'm sitting in there like, what the fuck happened? And we looking at the news, I start paying attention. It says terrorist attack on New York City, terrorist attack on the USA. And I'm just like, nigga, I don't know what the terrorist is. So I'm talking to my homie like, what's happening? He like, bro, the terrorist is here. They finna start a war. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, don't feel like it. I'm looking around like, I don't see war. So it don't seem like that. You know what I mean? So about an hour go by, because the first plane had already crashed when I walked in. I missed the first one.
Right.
While I was in class, I saw the second plane crash. That's when noise started. People were like, oh, my teacher was yelling. She was like, oh my God. There wasn't no cell phones. So she was just up, standing up like, oh my God. Voice came over the intercom. Mr. Gilmore, need you at the principal's office. I went to the principal's office. My mother was in the principal's office like this. Get your ass on. We got to go right now. Where your book bag? I said, my book bag in class. She snapped on me for a second. Why you ain't bring your book bag? Go get your bag. Mama ran behind me as I walked to the class to go get my bag. When I got in the car, radio was on. This lady don't never listen to talk radio.
You were in Miami.
Broward County.
Yeah. I was 4 or 5 hours away in another city in high school. And that shit hit hard because the family that I call my adopted family, whom I spend a lot of my time with, whom I know their entire family, they're Guatemalan. They are from New York. Well, they're from Guatemala, but they live, most of their family that's here in the States are in, New York. And their father was there. I believe he worked in the World Trade. He worked in one of the Twin Towers, or he worked very close nearby. But when it happened, we were all watching, and we watched that plane hit, that first plane, and when that second plane hit, oh shit, we just knew that was not no mistake. And I ran out into the hallways, and as I'm running out into the hallway, there's nobody else in the hallway. Me and my brother from another mother, who was the one that I be, who became my best friend, who became my brother, who's adopted me into their family, the Guatemalans. Um, I I ran into him, and we were both looking for each other, and we were looking for a phone. We were trying to get to a phone because cell phones weren't working. Could not get in touch. His father was in New York, and thank God that we found out later on that he basically took a detour and did not enter the building, so his life was saved. Otherwise, he could have been a part of the rubble. He could have been one of those people that were found. He could have been a casualty. And it's crazy because for 2 days, no one knew anything. We could not call anybody. We could only find out what we could find out from the news, and the news was only finding out what they knew from the live feeds, basically. And it was hard. It's a horrible feeling because I've become so intertwined in their family. It was like they are like my family. They are my family. And all I could think about is what if it was my mother? What if it was my grandmother? What if it was my family members? You know, down in Miami, this crap would have happened. That's why mom was scared and she took you out of school. Because what if they had multiple planes, more than four?
Yeah, because apparently the rumor was what was going on around at the time is that they're about to start attacking schools.
Right.
And I remember them saying that on the radio, like, nigga, what?
But
Because I still at
they
the
tried to
time,
make our ass to stay there all day long.
I still at the time did not know what a terrorist attack was. I never heard that word in real life. I've heard it on movies, you know what I mean? But to hear it, it's like, I don't know what this is. And when we got to our uncle's house in Broward, that's when we saw the first building fall. And that's when I knew things are different. People in my house who normally don't care about shit like this were crying.
Yes.
And it was like, all I kept hearing out loud, and I'm talking about for weeks, oh, we going to war.
I cannot tell you how heartbreaking it was for me to look at that TV live feeds of me watching people hanging from the windows. They were hanging from the windows. They had a choice to make. The choice was I could sit in here, suffocate from the smoke. They can't see, they can't breathe, and the heat alone, they weren't even being engulfed in flames, but the heat alone was enough to sear their skin and have it so bad that their clothes were infused into their skin from the heat. They had a choice to sit there and burn to death or jump to their death. And a lot of people looked away. This is what was said on the documentary, but I saw this in real time. But what was said in the documentary for the people that were sitting there that had escaped and were on ground level looking up at these people hanging from the window. This one woman, she said, she couldn't look away, and she tried to get everyone else who weren't looking to look because we owed them that much. The bravery it took for them to make a decision on burning to death or jumping to their demise deserved a moment of being able to recognize that they are in a position to where there were no good choices, but the best choice to make was to jump, and you needed to see them, even if you couldn't put a name to it, because some of them knew that they had colleagues and friends and people that they cared about on floors above them that were trapped and they couldn't get out, and they were the people they were watching jump down. And they were sitting down on ground level watching them, wishing that they could have saved them or someone could have saved them. There were people that got out early, but because of the plane, when the plane hit the first building, the explosion that happened, all the windows popped, and the injuries from just the windows popping from people that were in the lobby and outside of the building, being being um, being hit with all those shards of glass. There were so many injuries. There was so much going on. There were so many things that were taking place that had every fireman from every borough, everybody was trying to get to a point where they can find the best route to save as many people as possible. And when the second plane hit, it's like I only have two hands to do this much. Now I have to find a way to do twice as much to save as many lives. And to think that these men see this danger and not be requested to, not be asked to, not be demanded to come to the fury of the fire and in the core of the bad thing that's happening. They automatically, it's just in their head to do it. Automatically it's in their head to run towards danger, because they're not thinking about themselves, they're thinking about these people in their families. To me, to see a firefighter walk up the stairs, there's 104 something floors. You know how tiring it is to walk up there with just you and your body weight alone? Not to mention the equipment that you're carrying, the heavy jackets, the oxygen, all the axes and the tools that you have to carry up with you. To walk up as people are walking down, knowing that you are trying to save lives, knowing that your life in itself will probably not be saved. Your family will not be able to see you or hear from you again. And let me touch on the fact that the people that were in the plane calling their loved ones, telling them that people have hijacked. This woman was on the phone telling her husband that there are people being stabbed. Hold on, I can't talk to you right now. Hold on. They're coming back. And when the coast is clear, she gets back on the phone. I just want to tell you I love you, and this, that, and the other. Um, this is a hijack. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think we're going to make it through this. To know that you got that phone call, back in them days when you get on a plane, you were not supposed to turn your phone on for the duration of the flight. There was no point where
I
you can
don't
turn your
know
phone.
for real, because I was not on planes back in those days.
I was. There was no point where you can turn your phone back on.
12.
So you had to keep your phone off the entire flight. But for them to have to turn their phone on and call their loved ones and tell them, this is what's going on, and the dispatch from the airport, they knew something was fishy, because 3-4 flights turned off their responders, and they're trying to, and they could see that the planes were descending, and they were trying to request them to ascend because they weren't at regulation height, and they weren't responding. They turned the responders off. They're calling other planes nearby that could get a visual and see, do you see flight such and such and such? They're descending and they're not responding. We think we have a hijack situation on, and we're not in response with several other planes. Like, this to me is mind-boggling, to know that a pregnant woman is calling her husband to tell him that he loves her, she loves him, and he's telling her, I don't want to live. I don't want to go on without you. I really don't want to go on without you. I need you. Like, this is your last conversation with your mother, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your wife. We think about all of the people we lost in the Twin Towers. They didn't know what was coming. But if you think about all the people that actually knew what was going on in those planes, they knew they were getting ready to meet their demise. They knew. And in the other plane where it was getting ready, the one that didn't hit the Pentagon, but the one that was supposed to be headed, I think it was another one that was going to hit the Pentagon.
The fourth one that crashed.
Yeah.
And was that
one guy?
What was that? They killed that nigga on the plane.
One guy was on the phone with his wife, and he was like, he was telling her the rundown. She herself used to be a flight attendant, and she knows from her training what was supposed to be done. She said, "Don't make a scene, don't cause a ruckus, sit down and be quiet." Because that's what they were trained to do. And then she said, when I said this, I knew right after it came out of my mouth, it just felt bad. It was the wrong thing to say. But my husband, he screamed at me. He was like, "No, if I'm going to die, I'm not going to die allowing them to achieve their goal. I'm going to die fighting back." So him and several other people were able to apprehend the terrorist and kill them. And they knew they were still going to die because can't nobody fly a plane.
I wouldn't even attempt. There's no point.
No,
No,
but
I'm gonna kill us faster.
yeah, but if you don't kill you're killing other people.
I don't want to
Not
be
you,
the guy that's blamed for crashing the plane.
But nobody blamed them. They were brave. They
I understand,
they commended them.
If let's say I crashed and I survived, the people that died,
they would still commend you because you saved thousands of lives.
I ain't got the heart. Like,
well, that's brave of you to admit, but I don't know. I can't say what I would have or would have not done in that situation. I don't know what I would have done or what I would not have done in that situation, but I know the feeling that I feel today and the feeling that I felt 20 years ago. It's a tearjerker, if not anything less than that, because to put myself in a position of people who were just in the surrounding buildings, to put myself in the position who were in the lobby, to put myself in the position of the people who were stuck above the crash in those buildings and could not get down, to put myself in the position of the people who were able to escape and had to climb down those narrow staircases. And we say a lot about New Yorkers as far as them being rude and not nice and cruel to each other. But all we hear from witnesses and survivors from that event is that everyone was helping each other out. They were nice. They were calm as they could possibly be. If they seen someone in need and in help while they were trying to save themselves, they stopped and helped each other. They stopped and went out of their ways, not just the firefighters, but the civilians. They stopped and went out of their way to help other people. And that speaks volumes. New Yorkers aren't rude. New Yorkers aren't mean and cruel. New Yorkers are unfiltered and straight to the point. They don't need to pretend to be nice to you. But when push comes to shove and shit hits the fan, their hearts are in the right places. They do the right thing. And I can't say enough about how I love my New Yorkers and how.
Do you identify as a New Yorker now?
I don't know. I don't know if I identify as a New Yorker. But I do know that I felt very at home there. I felt very seen and unseen. Because growing up in my entire life, I've always felt stared at. I've always felt like an outcast. I've always felt like something that has attention drawn to him no matter what I do, whether I'm quiet, whether I'm loud, whether I dress down, whether I dress up. Something, everywhere I go, I'm always getting solicited, either in a negative or a positive way. But I'm always standing out. In New York, I felt like I was just there. I was recognized, but I wasn't depicted and pulled apart. I felt right in place. Nobody was overly nice to me. Nobody was overly rude to me. They were just unfiltered. You know, the first time you go into New York and you see all those tall buildings and you're walking in Times Square and you look straight up and somebody's like, "Get the fuck out of the way. What are you doing?" They got places to go. They're on a time limit. They got things to do, and they don't need you standing and stopping and all right in front of them while they trying to walk. I'm not trying to be mean, but get out of the way.
I guess I never thought of the events of 9/11 like that. I was a kid, so it didn't really impact me until afterwards. Like, I remember the war.
Yeah.
Things changed then. I definitely remember the shift in feeling like, I can't go certain places and be myself, that those days are out of there. White people, like niggas and whites, and we all looked at each other like we Americans.
Yeah.
It was no enemies. I remember that.
We were in it together.
I remember that shit. And I remember watching the bombs drop. I think we were shooting our first music video. I was 14. And we had just left Bunch Park because we shot a video out there with Mom's old friend, Winston. Rest his soul. I remember walking in the house on the news. It was night vision. And I saw the first bombs drop. And I just kept thinking, like, that's weird that I'm watching murder.
Yeah.
In real life.
Can you imagine being there, though? Can you imagine? Like, we've seen people die. Like, me and you, we're not going to be filtered here. You've seen people die. I've seen people die. I've seen people die in very heinous ways. I've seen people shot. I've seen people burned alive. I've seen people die. And I'm not discrediting the vile and horribleness of watching that and seeing that. But there was a guy that was being interviewed who said that he worked in a hotel, the restaurant of the hotel that was in between or behind.
You talking about the war or
behind one of the behind one of the Twin Towers?
You talking about the war or 9/11?
9/11.
Okay. Track.
There was a guy who was working in the kitchen of the hotel behind one of the twin towers, and he was in the freezer, and he couldn't hear anything that was going on. So when he came out, everybody was gone. All staff, all the customers, everybody was gone. He was, what is going on? What is going on? Somebody comes in, he's like, oh, you can't be in here, because he figured something was going on. You can't be in here. He's like, you need to go out and see what's going on. So he said he went out to try and push the door open, but there was something blocking the door. And he thought it was a dead animal. And he thought it was weird that it was the dead animal. What kind of animal could this be blocking the door? So he thought nothing of it too much. And he went to go back inside and figure out what was going on. And the guy said, no, you need to go out and look. So when he went out and he looked, he saw body parts everywhere. Not just bodies, but limbs, heads, severed heads, legs and limbs and body parts everywhere. And as he was looking around, he saw a friend of his that was coming towards him, I guess, to tell him to head in one direction or the other, to get out. And as he was heading towards him, this guy, a guy who had jumped from the building, had fallen right in front of him. And all he could hear is the sound, the deafening sound of the boom when your body hits the ground and your limbs split. All the therapy and everything has helped him cope and deal with it, but you never forget that sound and that visual. To be there, to think about the thousands of lives that were taken. And this is all in the name of a regime who has a religious belief that if you don't follow them in their religious beliefs, you are destined to die. You follow or you die.
And you know what? I have so many thoughts on that, but I don't want to be.
That kills me.
I don't want to be insensitive.
And sensitive?
Because I just think it's more to it.
You think
it's got to be more to it. Because
I mean, yeah, we're only talking and scratching the surface of this.
Yeah, thing. So it's like for people to crash, for people to hijack a plane, sacrifice them lives, and
of details and training.
It's got to be so much more to. Yeah, it's so much more to it. It's to be radicalized. It ain't just your religion. It's a way of life that is taught.
It's usually based on religion.
Then that could be the foundation of it, I guess. Yeah. But I really feel like it's a lot more financial. I think there's a lot more money involved that we've just never been able to uncover.
Money isn't the issue. I don't think it's just that money. It's not money.
I'm saying money's the issue. What I'm saying is
it's territory.
I just know from I'm a simple
power.
I'm
and
a simple
territory.
person, right? So I break things down to simple forms. The only time I'm going to the extremes is when something has gone wrong. Because I can think how I think and do business with you, and you can think how you think, and we can not ever agree.
Right.
But if the business is good, it's just good. I'll never come to your side. You'll never come to my side until the business goes bad. Now I got all the reason to go see that fucked up motherfucker.
That's
I
how
never
you
fuck with
thinking.
that. I know.
But
I'm
I
not
could be
saying
thinking, I don't like the equal power that we have. I
I'm,
don't like that he has more power, or I don't like that he has equal power. I want more. I want more power. And I think this is not a money thing, it's a power thing. It's based on religion, but it's also a power struggle. People want power. Power is way more important and more influential than money. Money comes along with power, but the power, being able to wield power in what you say goes.
I'm not going to get into what I was thinking.
That to me has been the destruction of this planet. Being able.
So
to
you think
wield
those
power.
people ran those planes into this building because they wanted power?
I believe those people ran those planes into those buildings because they were minions who believed in what was
I ain't talking.
fed
All
to
right, so
them.
let me ask a better question.
But the people behind them were doing what they did to use those pawns and those minions because of the power struggle.
So they wanted power. So Osama bin Laden and all of those who were involved wanted more power.
Yes, the same way the politicians in America want power, want to gain power, want to maintain power, want to get more power, and they will use whatever they can at their resources.
How do you get power?
To obtain that power.
How you get power in this world?
You get power in this world by taking power from other people. One, and you in the way you take power from other people is to, one, either make sure that the people who have more power than you are seen in a bad light, and two, use minions and pawns in their fears. And usually a lot of their fears is not having a certain quality of life, or not being able to live up to their religious beliefs.
What's the most tangible source of power?
Ruling the world.
No.
What do you think it is? Seriously.
When I say tangible, what is the most tangible source of power?
What do you think it is?
Give me what is tangible.
You tell me what tangible is. Don't quiz me on
something that's real.
Something that's real.
Yes, not like a feeling or an idea or an action. No, something that can be put in someone else's hand.
You think it's money?
Yes. The most tangible source of power is money.
That's for the small-minded minions and pawns.
I'm not, no.
Because money, with power, money comes, but money comes.
Okay, power can be the structure, right? But that structure is not tangible. You understand what I mean?
Of course, you need a muse, but if it wasn't money, it would be if it wasn't money, it would be something else.
I'll give you the second most tangible source of power.
Land, property.
Military. Weapons. Like, that's the second tangible source of power. Money, weapons, territory. Those are three tangible sources of power. All three, only one is needed to get the other two. Out of each one of them. I got territory, I can get money, I can get weapons. I got money, I can get weapons, I can get territory. I got weapons, I can get territory, I can get money. You get what I'm saying?
You're still
so no. What I'm just saying is those are just tangible things.
Those are tangible.
I'm not talking about one person's plight. I'm just talking about the structures that run and that continue to keep a power structure alive.
Currency.
Yes. Because without those things, is it a power structure?
Without those things, there is still a power structure. Because before there was currency, there were women. And when there were women, there were motivation to impress. And to impress a woman, you wanted to have more. You wanted to have more power.
So
you wanted to be the alpha.
So, in the olden days, when they used to say,
I like that word.
well, you can marry my daughter and you can share this land and own some of this land, right? They didn't have no currency, right? You get these, you marry my daughter, you get this many sheep, you get this many acres of land.
Those are tangible things.
That's currency.
That's currency. And before that, before the olden days,
I'm just saying, man,
I get what you're saying.
It's all about currency.
I get what you're saying.
So you can call it whatever you want to call it.
Today you could say that. But
No,
I think
today I can say the currency is money. I can always pinpoint.
We can always spider web off into this.
What I'm just saying is, it's always about currency. I told you I'm a simple person, man. I go to simple things.
I'm thinking simply. Because I'm thinking before currency.
Guns and butter, baby.
I'm thinking before currency. Before there was a trade off.
There was always currency.
Before there was a trade off of wives and livestock and land, there was a power structure. There was an alpha and a beta, omega. You know, there were these.
That ain't even a thing. A beta, omega. You just said that shit because it felt good.
Before there was anything to trade, there was strength. There was authority. There was, I am bigger than you. I am stronger than you. I can.
And if I was to go to another tribe and go, I will take this strength and align with you if you give me this. Is that not currency?
No. If you're saying that you're a simple person, what you're saying, you're not thinking simply as I am thinking.
What I'm saying
when I'm thinking power, when I'm thinking of power,
this is a big rich town.
When there's
and
power,
not just
and
come
the way
from
that
the
it's evolved
part.
today, the way that power has evolved.
Baby,
Stop
I gotta
getting us
make
copyrighted. The way that power has evolved into its elaborate structure that it is today, if you simplify it to its
big old words,
when you simplify it to its bare bones, when we go down to
naked. I don't know.
I hate you sometimes. I can never get a word in.
Because I don't even care about this point.
I can never get a word in.
I don't even give a fuck about this point.
When you boil it down to the bare bones, when you think about cavemen, there was nothing to offer besides food. And even when there was not food to offer, there was the only thing that a man could do.
Protection.
It was
food.
It was strength. It was strength. I'm stronger than you. You will do what I say.
And if I trade my strength for something else to align, it is currency.
This guy just never wants to lay down.
I just know what it is.
Lay your ass down.
I just know what it is. You just don't want to accept.
No, you don't want to accept laying down. It is bare bones.
I know what it is,
power.
man.
When it comes to power, it's power.
Currency is what makes power.
And when you use
currency is what makes power
to gain power,
currency wasn't in power because he a rapper. And they didn't really have like a lot of good rappers in power. But currency is power. Don't let this nigga lie to you.
Brute. I am not lying to you.
Currency is power.
When you bring it down to the bare bones,
currency is power.
It's brute. It's however you in
the tribe, right? And I'm in the tribe, right? And I go, y'all ain't got enough strength, but I want that bitch right there. I'll give you my strength.
No, you never ain't trading shit off. When you go back to the and the woos, we ain't trading shit. I'm stronger than you are. You either gonna do what I want you to do, or you gonna die. Regardless of the fact, it's my strength over your weakness. That is power. Period. My strength over your weakness is power. Lay down, nigga.
Excuse me. Can't get it out of me. He wrong, I'm right. It don't matter. Because it's the end of the night. And I do want to say, I never thought about 9/11 into the ways that you thought about it. I really want to watch that documentary now, or that series. I definitely probably going to watch that tonight. Because it didn't, even though it was 20 years ago, we're still dealing with the effects of it. Mm-hmm. Especially just trying to leave Afghanistan.
Just leaving the war. Just stopping the war.
Like, and you know what's crazy? Like, it's to the point where even Pete Davidson, the comedian I like, his dad was a firefighter who died in 9/11. So many people were affected by the attack, the rescue, the war, the aftermath. It changed us as a country.
It really did.
The airports were not the way they are now. 4 people with box cutters changed us as a nation. Maybe for the better. This nigga is continuously hitting the camera. We finna end this, man. This is our first live stream, so bear with us. There's a lot of fuck ups, a lot of technical difficulties. Middle of us talking about the crash, nigga. We crashed again. Anyway, for those who stuck around,
do it, man. These other podcasters and YouTube live streamers, I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all must have an entire team. It's just us.
I ain't making no excuses, nigga. Shit, we can get better.
Woo!
For those who stuck around, we really appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And if you listen to this podcast and you took things away from it that made you feel like you're a better human today than you was yesterday, you're welcome. If you walked away from this podcast feeling like these niggas is idiots and I've lost multiple brain cells listening to them, he is sorry. I feel you. If you want to know which one we care about the most, well,
we're pretty not sure.
I'll see y'all later.
We would like to thank, before we see you later, all of the survivors and all of the people who have been affected by the 9/11 event. And we keep you in our prayers. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you follow us on YouTube.
Shout out to me for not making no jokes.
If you don't follow us, please follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at The Pretty Not Sure Podcast.
I never forgot how R. Kelly peed on that bitch. So y'all better not ever forget either.
Goodbye. Give me something. Woo-wee!
Deuces.
In another one.